Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome to have you here. This is future me working on this video. I just wanted to greet you guys and thank you for being here. And so in this video, I'm going to be sending my cluster out to Blue Gauges and having custom work done to it. I've been eyeing this website for a long time and I've emailed Scott back and forth a few times. And he doesn't know I'm making this video, so if you've never heard of this website before, make sure you go down and click on the link and get to his website and show him some love if this is something that you may be interested in. In this video, I'm going to be sending the cluster out to Scott at Blue Gauges, and we're going to tell him exactly what we want done to it, and you guys will see the end result at the end of this video, and I'm pretty stoked. So let's get the cluster off and send this thing out. We're going to be pulling this, the front off the bike. I've got my impact. So I've got it on its lowest setting, so don't freak out. I wouldn't normally, do this for something like this, but I mean, I don't think it'll hurt anything. I don't reckon. Yeah, see? No harm done, except that's stuck now. So I'm just going to, you guys have seen me take this bike apart 1,000 times, so I'm going to get it apart so that way we can get to the cluster, and I'll see you guys once I'm done doing that. So I didn't show taking the bike apart from that last section of the clip because, as you probably heard, my baby started crying, so I had to go tend to her, take care of her. So I got the rest of the bike took back apart off camera. As you would have seen in previous videos, the bike's been pulled apart for quite some time now. Once you get the front face off of the bike, there's just 3 bolts holding the cluster on and the 1 plug, so you just unplug it and then unbolt the cluster from that. So from this point, once you have the cluster off your bike, you got to get it packaged up and sent out to Scott at Blue Gauges. And on his website, which I have linked down below, there's instructions on how to do that. I just took my cluster to UPS and they handled everything for me. We're at the UPS store. I know it's probably hard to see. I know you probably can't see anything, but we're at the UPS store and I just dropped off the cluster to send to Blue Gauges. It was a pretty simple process. I had some other stuff I had to ship too, so I just brought it in there, and I didn't have any boxes or anything at the house because I just throw them all away. And they took care of everything and packaged everything for me. And so via the website instruction, I mailed the cluster with the instructions of what I want done to the cluster, and also I printed off my invoice to Blue Gauges and threw it in the packaging as well, so that way, that's what they tell you to do on their website, so that's what I did. I've also been emailing Scott back and forth. He doesn't know I'm making this, so I'm just giving my, full, unbiased impression of it, but I think it's going to look sweet once it's done. I can't wait for it to get back. So he should get it by Monday. Today's Wednesday, so we should be getting it back next week, I hope. So until then, we wait. All right, you guys, so I got the cluster sent out. UPS took care of everything for me, so it was super simple. I just had to tell them where I wanted it sent and the return address and all that stuff. So from looking at the website, Scott's turnaround time is usually pretty quick, but I've been in contact with him, and he even told me in the email that he sent me that his turnaround times are anywhere between 24 and 48 hours, depending on the day of the week. So if he gets it on like a Saturday, obviously you can't ship on Sunday, but his turnaround times are pretty quick. But due to the current situation of the world with the coronavirus, his turnaround times have not been as quick. This is not his main source of income. This is just something that he does on the side. So, but considering that fact, he did get the cluster fixed for me to the specifications that I desired, and he shipped it out. So it should just take him a couple days and he'll get it sent back out. And we have a package. The cluster got to Scott on this past Saturday, and he worked on it and shipped it back out to me the following Wednesday. So it did take him a little bit longer than I thought it would for him to get to my cluster, but odds are during this time, a lot of people are probably trying to get their clusters sent to him, so he probably had a high volume of orders. No big deal. It's been raining like crazy here, so I haven't been riding anyway. Plus the situation with my wheels that you guys would have seen in the last video, that's what I've been dealing with. But he got it sent back out, so we're going to check it out. And I mean, kudos to this guy. His packaging is top notch. He not only did he fill this thing to the brim with like bubble wrap and stuff, he also wrapped the cluster and he taped it up, made sure that nothing was going to happen to it in shipping. And here we are. So I'm actually going to do a couple more things to the cluster before I install it, and I'm going to show you guys that right now. So here's my cluster as it sits, and you may or may not be able to tell this on the camera, but the plastic has kind of got some like what I can only assume to be water spots on it, and the plastic itself has definitely seen better days. I don't even know how this got scarred up like that. It's almost like it got melted or something. So lucky for me, on our good friends at eBay, that doesn't make any sense. On eBay, you can order these housing kits for the clusters on these bikes. So ordered one, and it looks pretty good. It comes with new rubbers on your buttons and everything. It comes with the housing front to back, and the housing itself looks pretty good. Honestly, not as high quality feeling as an OEM Honda one would be, but I couldn't find one, so we're just going to probably just swap the front out. So the backs look pretty good, but I'm going to leave this back on here if possible. I'm just going to swap the front out so that way we got a really clear picture of how this thing is going to look once it's installed. So to install it, it's super easy. All you have to do is take out these few screws or whatever. It's like half a dozen or so. Just take those out and the front face should pull up. All right, guys, so I got the front fascia put on the cluster. Like I said, I stuck with the regular backing to it because you can't see that anyway, so it didn't bother me. I suppose that kit is for if you have a cluster and you got it off of a wrecked bike, or you wrecked your bike and you're rebuilding it and this whole thing got busted up, and you definitely don't want water getting into this, so it works good. I can say that it fit extremely well onto the factory housing here. Few little spots that look like it wasn't molded perfect, but considering the fact of how clean it looks, threw a little bit of Rain-X on there, I think it looks super duper clean. But my one thing is just be careful, because you definitely don't want to like get dust or anything inside of this and then close it back up. You'll just have to open it back up again, but just make sure everything is super clean before you lock it down. So without further ado, let's get this thing back on the bike. Guys, I am just over the moon excited about the new cluster. I think it looks amazing. Like I said, I've been wanting to do that mod for literally years. I've even got old pictures of different clusters that he can do, that he can perform the service on from literally years ago, like 4 or 5 years now. And so I've just been, waiting for the right moment. And truthfully, I kind of forgot about doing it for a while. I probably would have had this done a long time ago. I think it really just cleans up the look of the bike. As you guys saw in the comparison, the old like yellow or orangey color scheme of the old cluster just really, to me, dated the bike. So changing everything to just a nice clean white, it brings it together for me. So in the very next episode, I'll show you guys another reason why I went with the all white. So stay tuned, because next episode we're going to do something probably just as fun, maybe even a little more fun. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and be sure to share it with your friends, your family, and your dog. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, have a great night.